Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my page. My page is about common sense. I try to keep it down and the nitty gritty under 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, it's something very important. And these videos are not pertaining to the masses asses. Those people who like to drink, people who like to smoke, people who like to ayahuasca, people like God, people who have religion. And that's most of you. That's 80% of you who should not be listening to my videos. Listeners' discretion is advised because I'm intentionally cringy on purpose because I'm the real motherfucking McCoy, right? Wink, wink. But of course, if you don't know me, please refrain from speaking until you know who I am. Because a lot of biased people is who I'm not catering to. So please read my description. You know how to donate. You know there is a Patreon down there. Do not play a game with me saying you do not know me. Don't do it. The masses don't know me because I don't need them to know. They are not capable of understanding who I am. I know who they are. Okay? Majority of people are very liberalistic, very emotional. They are EDBs, emotional douchebags. Check out my fucking videos. Now, this video is pertaining to how to become an alpha intellectual. Now, the thing is that I will consider myself a schizo-alpha intellectual, so I'm more on the eccentric side of the piece because of my memory, okay, is being fragmented. But even though no matter I'm doing all of the things more than most of you can ever believe, yes, I do know what I'm doing. You can give me some pointers and some tips about my memory, but trust me, my memory is far vast than a lot of other individuals that you may think. Do not underestimate me, okay? Please don't do that. I've been in the library more than you have when I was 17 years old. Trust me, I'm the true geek. But my memory is being fragmented because of this physical body attribute. Of course, I take my ginseng. I eat healthy most of my life. I have been. I told you I'm a Jesus type with no sins. So I'm alpha. Now, if you want to be a true alpha intellectual, you should listen to these individuals who are my black role models, because I do have white Greek role models as well, and also let me see, even Indian role models. So here are all my black alpha intellectuals that I get my information from, bits and pieces of knowledge, of course, which is like common sense. The first one is obviously Thomas Sowell, and then it's Larry Elder, and black woman, definitely Candace Owens, and she's a female. Okay, these are my role models in life. In these new modern days times, if you don't want to be considering a knucklehead, okay, you listen to them because they are on point when it comes down to people talking about racism, reparations. Though I believe that if you want to be smarter than they are, you have to do more research and make sure you find proof and evidence. Though there may be some rarities of situations like what I talk about, I believe that there's 30% racism. My shit come on by in my intuition. Throughout America, okay, white America, there is about 30%. I don't think it's, I talk to some crackers and some fucking snowmans. They tell me there is a 50%. They say 50% that has hide it very well. And I say, okay, you got a point. And systematic racism does exist to at least a point. There is a point that they still don't like blacks, or they will not hire you, even if you have the credentials, okay? But, of course, you have to prove those things. And I've already proven myself time and time again, too. And I do believe it because even way back 10, 15 years ago, I was trying to test out the theory if this such thing as a systematic racism. But this video is not about that, okay? Because I go off the tangent sometimes. You're some schizo, okay? And if you want to know more about me, I'm a schizoaffective individual, which they claim to say the white coats have said. And I can kill you and eat your babies and shit. So I just try my best to stay away from as many people as possible because of my talents. Because of my fucking talents. Read it, I'm a renaissance. And now everyone looks up to Thomas Sowell. I say out of my mouth Thomas Sowell because I respect brothers who are like Thomas Sowell and also Larry Elder and even Cornel West, okay, and nobody really listens to them just because they're black. You don't get a lot of publicity out there because of Larry Elder and Candace Owens. Instead, they get shut off. They get cut off. Okay? Even some lowly ones, like Killer Mike, okay? Sometimes he get a little loud, okay? He's trying to incite war. And even Farrakhan, okay? Farrakhan got a lot of knowledge, too. But, of course, these are some alpha intellectuals that will talk to you about some shit And then you gotta rethink your way of thinking. You go through a identity crisis because you always been thinking that you've been living as a slave, but you haven't. Because you are actually, if you're poor, you're actually rich. Think about that shit. You're in the fucking America and you never went out the country. But I'm not talking to women because women won't even comprehend most of what I say anyway. And I don't hate their hustle. Don't get me wrong. I am not a hate person who speaks hates. I just say I hate because I'm just joking around, okay? But please listen to what I'm saying here. These are the role models y'all guys should be looking towards. Thomas Sowell, Larry Elder, Cornel West, Candace Owens. Okay, there's a whole bunch of highly intellectual alphas which are not even being spoken about. Okay, one is always better than the other in some slight sense or way of speaking. Okay, but you have to understand, even, I like Mahatma Gandhi. He's my role model, even though he called niggas kefirs. But do you know what I learned so far about the word kefir? Kefir is just a lazy person. That's all it is. It doesn't really relate to black people. Okay, it just doesn't relate to black people, even though black people are more likely genetically prone to that side. Okay, you know, I don't care about what you say. I'm not fully black, nigga. But some people are actually on that far right autism, so they can remember shit like Batman. Okay, to me, I already told you before about my opinion on what the spectrum is. Sometimes some people have really high IQs. That's a form of autism because they can remember things better than you, regardless of how the way they study. Because I try to study hard, but I still can't get it. Okay, I still can't get it. Some people are good at this. Some people are good at that. Some people are naturally born talents. And then, of course, you have to understand to take all those things into account. Everybody's different. Okay, that's all it is. Like me. Okay, there ain't nobody like me on the internet. I'm just fucking authentic. But people come to me, swarms of them, but I can't handle all of them, so I got to get my rest sometimes. Because I hear the Holy Spirit and they don't. So I guess I'm different than they are in a different special way. Yuck, yuck. Okay, so me being myself and not caring what people think is a very big thing in America. If I spoke like this in Africa or somewhere, I'd probably get cut off, okay? I'd probably walking around. I carried my Moses stick in Ethiopia. I remember that shit. And they got scared of that shit. So I didn't even talk about it. I didn't talk about what my powers are or anything. I just talked to my wife about it, though. And she saw some crazy shit, but she was blind. But that's all I really wanted to say, you guys. If you want to be alpha intellectual, you know, and I keep going into the extremes, and I'm like, what are you talking about? There's people who could be intellectual and not even sound, they don't even need to articulate themselves, and they make a lot of sense. They keep themselves simplified. They simplify themselves. And then they tell you the resource of where they get their information from. Me, I look up to Socrates, okay, and I destroy most scholars' logistics, how the way they think. I think about it all of the time. I say, how can I defeat this guy if this guy already been all across the world? Okay. How can I defeat this guy? Do you believe? What do you believe? Depends on the topic. But stop saying you're into intellectual properties, you're in a stream, and then you don't know what you want to talk about. And you don't even know how to focus in on how you want to relay the message. But that's just how it is. And sometimes I enter these intellectual so-called streams, and then I'm like, what are you talking about? And they don't even tell me what it is. I just came on here and I had to leave. So I said, fuck it, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. But that only happened to me one time. Okay, this is this intellectual discussion. I said, okay, so let's begin. What we talk about? But anyway, that's all I really wanted to say. If you want to be an alpha intellectual, you have to have a great memory. You don't necessarily have to remember everything, but you just have to have enough common sense to join the group. And then you have to be a speculative person. You got to be a questioning person. That can make you an awesome intellectual as well. Just by being curious alone makes you an intellectual. And this is why I tell a lot of people not to watch my videos, because they don't ask questions. So I can't learn and you can't learn. So there's different approaches on looking on how an intellectual can be. It's not just about your memory and how much you know. It's how much common sense you can actually speculate and ask questions. You're raison d'etre, self-aware. So start asking some motherfucking questions and learn something. So I mentioned a few black alpha intellectuals, okay, with great memory. I got a great mind too, but sometimes my memory can be shot because all of the books that I read, okay. But of course, I'm getting older. I'm about 47 this year. So you can understand I'm going through a mental psychosis and And those other individuals can't even fathom with me and shit compared to certain apples and oranges, but everybody's different in their own way. I'm out of here, you guys. Peace.